Welcome to the U.S. Army Garrison Baden-Württemberg Transformation Town Hall Meeting, presented by AFN Europe.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Town Hall meeting of the U.S. Army Garrison Baden-Württemberg. I am the Public Affairs Officer, and my name is Regina Hinchen. This is the second Town Hall meeting we will air live on AFN TV and the Internet, and it is streamed on our Garrison Facebook page for our community members to watch or ask questions. These questions will be presented to the commander and the answers recorded on Facebook during this meeting. It will stream online at www.afneurope.net and on the USAG Garrison Baden-Württemberg website www.bw.eur.army.mil. On the Community Live, click on Community Live, and on the drop-down menu, click on the Town Hall, and you will be able to submit questions. We do, however, advise our Facebook viewers that may be following this meeting from a military computer to change their settings to avoid the choppy stream. But this option can only be set during the live stream. On the bottom of the right-hand side of the video is a setting with a drop-down menu. That should be set to low. Our AFN viewers on post can follow the Town Hall meeting on the AFN Atlantic Prime channel and off post on the Heidelberg Visual Channel 15 on the AFN decoder. This meeting is also aired on the top half of the AFN program guide with audio and video, while the program guide runs on the bottom. Before we get started, we kindly ask you to follow just two simple rules to help making this a great experience. Please power off your cell phones, and to ask questions, please come up to the podium positioned in the center of the aisle. Now, without further ado, I introduce to you the commander of the U.S. Army Garrison Baden-Württemberg, Colonel Brian DeCoster.
Well, welcome everyone for coming today. I think this is a good initiative we've taken in streaming this live on Facebook and also showing it on AFN. And hopefully we've got a good viewership out there. We will see once we get the Facebook questions coming in. And welcome very much to our diehards who have chosen to attend here in person. Hopefully some of you will be able to win some of the fine door prizes that have been donated by our service partners at the end. If we could go to the first slide, please. This is our agenda. The way we're going to conduct this town hall is I'll talk some of the big picture items here at the beginning on where we are on transformation in the Heidelberg and Mannheim and Schwetzingen communities. And then I will go into where we are working on today. So kind of where we've been and what we're currently working on today and where we will go in the future, big picture. Then I'll turn it over to our directorates and some of our service partners to cover some of the specifics on transformation changes that are upcoming here in the next few months. Next slide. And next slide. So this slide shows big picture, that piece of where we've come from and where we've been. And to kind of sum it up, we started out with 30 sites in the Mannheim, Schwetzingen, and Heidelberg communities. And under the DoD, Department of Defense decision, and USAG decision that Heidelberg and Mannheim, Schwetzingen would not be enduring communities, and that USAG headquarters would go to Wiesbaden, we have to either transfer the enduring sites to another garrison or close sites. So in calendar year 10 and 11, the sites that show up here in green or blue, those 8 sites have been turned in to the German government, returned back to Germany. And what I want to make sure of is we don't get closure confused with when it gets turned in to the German government. There's always an additional time period from when we close a post, when we move units and people out of that post, to then when we're able to finish all of the changes that have to happen, finish utilities work, and other things in order to turn over to the government. So what you see up here are essentially dates that we're closing installations and sites. We also transferred one site, the Grunstadt Bakery, to Kaiserslautern last calendar year. So where are we today? I told you 8 out of 30 turned in, 1 transferred. This calendar year, we're really working on 6 installations or sites that we're turning in. All of the Schwetzigen sites, so that includes the training area out there, Kilbourne Kaserne, as well as Tompkins Barracks, and it includes 3 major sites in Mannheim, Ben Franklin Village, to include Grant Circle, Sullivan Barracks, and the Lampertheim training area. So those are the 6 sites we're working on. We did just recently turn back in Schwetzigen training area, and we're very close on the turn-in of Kilbourne as well. But the big moves you will see this summer are Tompkins Barracks, Ben Franklin Village, which is a significant element because of all the family housing and unaccompanied soldier housing that's out there, and then Sullivan Barracks. Where are we going to? For those of you who live in Mannheim and have seen a lot of the churn and changes that have occurred in the Mannheim community and the consolidations and closures, you have been where Heidelberg and Schwetzigen are now going. And that is consolidations, reductions in hours, as we reduce in population and as we move more units out of the area. So all of these locations you see in yellow that represent the Heidelberg locations for 2013 closure, really in 2013, come next summer, is when we're going to see a big change here in the Heidelberg community as we close places like Campbell Barracks, Patton Barracks, Mark Twain Village, the Hospital Kaserne, Nachrichten. So you can expect big changes as we get closer to those closures in 2013 here in Heidelberg. And really at that point, once we get to about October of 2013 and USAG has completed their big move to Wiesbaden, we expect that it'll be a pretty small element left behind here. Really 3 major units, the confinement facility, our TNOSC signal node out at Finari Barracks, and then AFN Europe, who we obviously thank here today for helping us provide the live TV coverage. And then we'll have a platoon approximately of the 529th MP Company to continue to provide community law enforcement. Other than that, it'll be a small closure team and an essential services team to provide some of the front door services that the community needs, a much smaller community. And we'll be down to 5 sites until 2014-15 when we do the final closures. And those final sites in Heidelberg are Patrick Henry Village, Community Shopping Center, and then out in Mannheim, Finari Barracks, Manelli Barracks, and Coleman Army Airfield. So that's kind of the final set on when we close. Now what we'll cover in some specifics with you are the changes that are coming up here for the rest of this calendar year, really looking at summer, fall. If you want more information on transformation than you've got here, certainly ask us the questions through Facebook or here in the audience, or go to our website or to BW Now, Facebook, and give those questions to us through those means as well.
I mean, put
Okay, so
yourself
at this
in this
time,
situation.
I'll turn it
Go to your
over
high school
to
reunion.
our
What do you
Family
want to
Morale, Welfare, and Recreation to go through some specific areas in their capacity. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ingrid Oswald, and I am the Chief of Plans and Operations for the Directorate of Family and MWR. My first slide is a list of upcoming events that we have going on in FMWR. One in particular I'd like to draw your attention to, and that is our upcoming Mother's Day brunch. And this brunch will be hosted by the Heidelberg Spouses Club, and the caterer will be Incredible Minds, and the price will be $25, flat fee for adults, and children under 5 years old eat free, and children 6 on up cost, 6 to 12 cost $12 flat rate. So we look forward to having you book your reservations for Mother's Day brunch. Next slide, please. Some news about some things that have happened in FMWR. We're very excited about the changes here in the Village Pavilion Community Center. You will have probably noticed when you first come in the building to the right, there is our new information center. We have in this information center ACS information services. We have our information, tickets, and reservation service where you can book in one place anything we have going, pretty much anything we have going on in MWR. We also have amusement park tickets for amusement parks that are nearby. We have information on upcoming USO trips. It's sort of a one-stop, anything about information and recreation in the community. In addition, we also have family member employment readiness services in that glass office, so we're just really excited about the services in the information center. Also, the way we do catering in this building has changed. We now allow you to select a caterer of your choice and have the caterer come in here and provide your catering services. So you would be responsible for signing the caterer on post, but you pretty much can select your own caterer. We can provide you with a list of about 20 catering companies that we've researched if you don't know of your own caterer, but that's a big significant change that you can now bring your own catering company when you're either hosting a private function or you're hosting a conference or a training. We have several months ago created a children's area in the Stronghold Workout Center that is located in the lower level of this facility. We created this children's play area based on lots of comments that we received through the ICE comment system. Parents were asking for this area so they could work out and not have to be concerned about childcare arrangements. We're very happy to do this, but in recent weeks we've received a flood of ICE comments where patrons have been concerned about children being in this play area without supervision and children using this play area outside the hours that are authorized. We're concerned about the safety of the children. You know, it's very dangerous to have children roaming around in an adult workout area, and we don't want anything to happen to children. So we just want to put this out that we want to keep the children's workout area, but we are concerned that if parents don't supervise their children or they're not, if the hours are exceeded, that we may have to eliminate this children's play area for the safety of the children. The other information is, as we continue to transform private organizations that may be moving towards Wiesbaden or Sembach, there will be a cutoff date for private organizations, and that specific date will be determined. It'll be sometime next year around the May timeframe of 13. So we just want to make sure that private organizations understand that you can't just transfer a private organization from USAG Baden-Württemberg and establish it anew in Wiesbaden or in Kaiserslautern. You have to first familiarize yourself whether that private organization already exists in the new community, and that you would be joining an existing private organization and that you don't just start a new one. Next slide. This is a slide of our facilities that will be closing. Next slide, please. The thrift shop will close on or about 18 May. The thrift shop building will become our consolidated postal center with a mailroom, but we do have a new home for the thrift shop. It's directly going to be across from the outdoor recreation area or the recycling area in building 4455, directly across from the recycling center or outdoor recreation. And they'll reopen in June. That's all I have. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mr. Watson. Obviously, I am with the Director of Human Resources, and Ingrid kind of led into what I want to discuss today, which is the consolidation of postal services in Heidelberg. Now, I think some folks, well, most folks should have heard, if not enough specifics, at least some rumblings and rumors. So I'm here to kind of dispel any rumors and let you know the facts as they are today. Yes, it is correct. We will consolidate postal services on to Patrick Henry Village. There are several good reasons for doing that, as well as some great advantages, not only to the garrison, but to our customers. One of the reasons we're doing that is because, as Colonel DeCosta mentioned earlier, Patrick Henry Village is going to be one of the final communities installations standing here in Heidelberg. So it only makes sense to focus on where we can consolidate postal services, where we can do the consolidation now and have it last over a period of years until the final closure. Hence, Patrick Henry Village is the greatest choice. It is where our housing will be consolidated and a lot of services, so it is the most convenient place to consolidate postal services. Now, some of the other reasons we have to do that is, and a lot of folks know that the Army is challenged by budget cuts and available resources as a result. And the garrison is affected. Postal services are affected. We will no longer have, we will probably lose about half of our staff in the new fiscal year. And so there is no way that we can provide you, our customers, a quality product, quality services if we are half staff and we are still operating 7, 8 mail and postal facilities throughout Mannheim and Heidelberg. So this will allow us to consolidate and pool our staff and our resources and provide you a better product. The date we have planned to open the Postal Service Center is 1 October, and we should be able to meet that date. Currently, the plan is with contracting to be approved and to be built. And as Ingrid mentioned earlier, it will be in the first shop as they're moving, and I think is a great location. So as folks are on PHV conducting other business, they can always stop by the mail room 24 hours a day to pick up their mail. Now, we will not change anyone's mail address, okay? So if you are at CMR 420 on Campbell Barracks, or 419 on Patton, 432 Tompkins, or if you're at Sullivan Barracks, if we move your mailbox to Patrick Henry Village, you will maintain your same address, okay? That will not change. Now, some of our customers at some of our installations that are closing this year, I'm speaking specifically Tompkins Barracks and Sullivan Barracks, you will have an option we will provide you an option to move to receive a mailbox either at CMR 418 on Coleman Barracks, or you can move to another postal facility in Heidelberg. That is if you would rather not have your mail consolidated on PHV. And for some folks that makes sense. If you live in the Mannheim area, you may not want to travel to PHV to get your mail. You may prefer to go to Coleman Barracks. We will allow you that opportunity, and we will be putting some flyers in the mailboxes here pretty soon. However, if you are not consolidated on PHV, you will have to have a change of address. So if you're on 437 Sullivan, and you would like to go to Coleman Barracks, let's say today, tomorrow, next week, you can go to the Coleman Barracks 418 Postal Service Center, get a new mailbox, do your change of address, and have your mail start going there. Otherwise, all the mailboxes that are still open, operational, at the time we move the mailboxes to PHV, those boxes will come to Patrick Henry Village. Again, with no change of address. Some of the other reasons include, right now, as you go to your CMR, I think you're used to seeing soldiers and volunteers in there. Well, we are losing that resource, okay? The units that are moving out are less able to provide soldier support. Our volunteer pool is dwindling, obviously, as folks move out. So again, that's another reason why it makes sense for us to use the resources we have the foresight, and get ahead of this, and have a consolidated postal service center. Here are some of the advantages to you. Obviously, some of the advantages include we will be able to adjust hours to fit our customer base. Right now, if you are a customer in Coleman Barracks or Sullivan Barracks, you are having 3-day-a-week service. And we had to do that earlier in the year because we just didn't have the staffing, the resources. With the consolidation, not only at Coleman Barracks and both Patrick Henry Village, we'll be able to have extended, at least full-week service, 5-day service at Coleman Barracks, and 6-day service a week at Patrick Henry Village. And we will be able to extend hours to facilitate our customers who are traveling from Patton Barracks or Campbell Barracks or further out in the communities, so you can get to the Postal Service Center to pick up your packages. As an example, we may be able to run Postal Service meal pickup times until about 1900. That's just an example of what we'll be able to do by consolidating and having all of our staff focus on one facility. You obviously see the savings that the garrison and the Army will garner. It will cost us just around $600,000 to build this facility, and in 1 year alone, we expect to save about $1.4 million. And that's money that goes back to us. Okay, so in that regard, it's a great deal. It makes a lot of sense, and I'm really looking forward to when we can get this operational. It will be an advantage to you and to the garrison, and I see nothing but a win-win here in this situation. If anyone have any questions, by all means, you can ask them. I'll be more than willing to provide the answers, and perhaps you may present a situation that we haven't thought of, which I doubt very much, but it will be greatly appreciated. That way we can go back and address it and make sure when we open the Postal Service Center that we've done it in the right way, considering all the options, not only from our point of view, but from our customers, so you have a great product come 1 October this year. That's all I have.
Good afternoon. I'm Hannelore Thomas, Chief Housing Division. First of all, I want to thank you for the feedback and the responses we received after the last town hall meeting. The resonance of the participation was really great. Since then, we've completed more than half of the projected relocations. That is quite a lot. Now we are getting closer to the final stages, the closure of BFV and MTV East. If you are one of the soldiers who is not moving with your unit and your DEROS is beyond September 12th, you must relocate to PHV off base or curtail your tour. If you fall into this category, please contact our office now to coordinate your move. All those moves are government funded and directed. We are already in the beginning of May and summer search has just started. With all the moves going on, don't wait to schedule your transportation appointment. Contact the transportation office as soon as you have your orders and make arrangements for your move. That was not the slide, so. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. Most of the relocations will be to either Kaiserslautern, Wiesbaden, or Schweinfurt. As soon as you receive your orders, please contact the Gaining Housing office. Send them your orders along with a housing application. They will add you to the waiting list up to 60 days in advance. Most likely by the time you get there, you will have quarters available. They will have quarters available for you. The exception is Kaiserslautern. Family housing in Kaiserslautern falls under the Air Force, and the Army regulation and rules, they don't apply there. You will not be able to be added to the waiting list 60 days in advance. Their waiting time for housing are between 2 and 8 months, so this is a very long time, and most likely you will have to move off post. I've contacted the housing office last week, and they agreed to accept your orders in advance. So please send them your orders along with a housing application, and they will let you attend an economy briefing. After you've attended the economy briefing, you will be able to start looking for housing. If you find housing before your reporting date, we will help you with your paperwork and initiate your OHA. You will receive more details when you contact your counselor. So I've added the offices, the telephone numbers for Kaiserslautern, Wiesbaden, and Schweinfurt. These are the contact numbers. And then the last slide are the contacts of our housing office. So please contact us and we will help you to relocate to your new duty station. This concludes my briefing. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Liz Morales. I'm here on behalf of Shane Napier. From the APHIS, slide please. Next slide. Okay, so I would like to just point out that Tompkins Retail Store, the Mannheim Burger King, and the Mannheim Sullivan Express has been extended for the last business dates. For the Tompkins Retail Store, it'll be July 20th, 2012 for the last business date. And the Mannheim Burger King, July 28th, 2012. And Mannheim Sullivan Express for the 31st of August, 2012. Now, there's also been changes on the operations for the Mannheim Popeyes, which is closed on Mondays, Tuesday, Sunday, 11 to 1800. Mannheim Taco Bell as well. Monday will be closed, Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 1800. Mannheim Main Store, also closed on Mondays, Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 1800. And the Mannheim Gas Station, also Monday closed, will be open Tuesday through Friday, 7 to 1900, Saturday, 8 to 1900, and Sunday, 9 to 1900. If you're looking for any information on the transformation for the future, it can be obtained on the U.S. Army Garrison website, which will be discussed in a future slide. Thank you, and that concludes my briefing.
Next slide. Speak up. Okay. Next slide, please. Hi, my name is Cheryl Luddington. I'm your store director at the Heidelberg Commissary. I just want to bring one thing to your attention. The Mannheim Commissary will no longer service in their deli and bakery department. However, here at Heidelberg, we are prepared and we are still, nothing has changed with our service, and you're always welcome to call or stop on by in their deli and bakery department and they will assist you with your needs. I want to bring up a special, we're having a Family Fun Fitness Festival that is going to be on 12 May, and I encourage everyone to come out. There's going to be fun, prizes, games. First, we kick it off with the 5K run with your human. Yeah, the dogs will take the lead on this one, and then we will go into our circuit training, and we have the dunk tank this year. I have been volunteered to be one of the ones to be dunked. I encourage anyone that would like to come out. We would like to see Colonel DeCosta, but I don't know if that's able. I will be in first in line for that shot. Next, I want to bring to your attention is the 28th July. We will be having a farmer's market, and we're going to try, and more details will be coming out further. We're putting it together as we speak now. We're going to try and make that one a smaller, slim down of our Fun Family Fitness Festival. Again, I encourage you all to come out. It's a great day to have fun. There'll be special prizes and different events for everyone. The whole community is involved. We have USO, AFES, MWR, CYS. Trying to think of all the people that are going to be there, but it will be a fun day. It's not there for a case lot sale to come out and shop the commissary. It's there for the community. And the commissary is always there for our community. Thank you.
Next slide, please. Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Rachel Smith. I'm the commander for the Coleman Troop Medical Clinic and the OIC for the Heidelberg Health Clinic. These are the hours for the Heidelberg Health Clinic and the Coleman Troop Medical Clinic. Please note the changes in hours for the Heidelberg Health Clinic Pharmacy. The new hours are Monday through Friday, 08 to 1700. And also note the new information for our Coleman Troop Medical Clinic. Our last full patient care day will be provided on 1 June to include pharmacy services. We will transition our care on 4 June to provide sick call services to our active duty members with the hours for walk-in hours from 08 to 09:30. Next slide, please. These are a few upcoming changes in services and events. The teen clinic will cease on-location support at the Heidelberg High School at the end of this current year. We will provide this confidential care service at the Heidelberg Health Clinic. We are also offering a teen fair, which is scheduled for 30 May. This is a great opportunity to show our support for our teenagers and the Heidelberg High School, and is getting tremendous support from all the community assets within Baden-Württemberg. This will be a great event for teens to register. There will be prizes offered and a lot of information provided for health care as well as other services in the community. Our ongoing events, there are no changes. We still offer the EFMP screening process on Tuesdays and Fridays, 07:30 to 16:30. You can call and make an appointment on these days. We also have a monthly patient and family-centered care meetings. This is another forum for us to ensure transparent communication with our patients during this time of transformation and keep them informed on the changes that are ongoing with our health care. The next meeting for next month will be posted at the website you see here. Next slide. I'm sorry, can you go back one? These are the critical resources for that we offer for our patients and tools for them to use. We have the nurse advice line, the 1-800 number here. We highly encourage our patients to use this 1-800 number. We also have the appointment line. They can always call and make an appointment. Our patient liaisons are a great asset that we still have within our community. They visit all of our inpatients, and the numbers provided here are resources for our patients to call if they have any questions on the host nation care. We also offer the Host Nation Care Guide, which you can download at the website you see here. Don't wait for an emergency to know where your closest emergency room is. There's a lot of great information in this guide to tell you where to go with GPS addresses that you can plug into your GPS now, so that when you have an emergency, you can go there immediately to the closest emergency room in our host nation facilities. We have the emergency numbers listed here for Mannheim and Coleman, and also numbers for the Heidelberg area. I want to encourage everyone to update their DEERs. This is very important when it comes to providing your care and ensuring that there are no issues with eligibility or other billing issues in TRICARE. Our Apples is a patient satisfaction survey that is mailed out after you have your appointment. You'll receive it within about 6 weeks. It's very important that you fill this out, whether you're, and to communicate back to us for any satisfied care that you received or any concerns that you want to bring to our attention. This is an opportunity for us to communicate and hear from you in a survey process. This also provides resources back to our facility. The more you're satisfied with our care and we hear that from you, this provides resources back to us and we can better enhance your care as we transition. The TRICARE online service is also a great appointment opportunity, a great appointment tool for you to use and access appointment information 24 hours a day. Subject to your questions, I'll be followed by Dentac.
Next slide, please. Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Deepti Chitnis. I am the OIC of the Patrick Henry Village Dental Clinic. I'd mentioned in my last town hall meeting that we're losing several dentists this summer. We are actually losing our last contract dentist this month, and so as you can see, our sick call hours are going to be changing. As of 21 May, we will be doing sick call from 08:30 until 11:30 in the morning. Also, as the dentists are leaving, they're not going to be replaced, and that's due to the ongoing transformation in Europe. The dentists that are ETSing, PCSing will not be replaced. We're also, since Coleman Dental Clinic, even though the medical center is not going to be closed until 1 June or 12 June, 1 June.
The Coleman Dental Clinic? Medical clinic is, last patient care day is on 1 June.
1 June.
But we will transition to sick call services, providing sick call services for active duty members in the area, starting 4 June.
But the dental clinic has already closed, and so we are seeing the Coleman dental patients at PHV Dental Clinic as well. So as you can see, the appointments are going to get a little harder with the dentist leaving and more patients coming in. It's going to get a little harder to get appointments. So it's even more important that we don't miss our appointments. The appointments that are made, please try to keep those appointments. We're still seeing some fairly large number of failed appointments, so please try to keep those appointments, or at least provide us, timely notice that you are going to not be able to keep your appointments. Also, it's probably a good idea right now to look into the TRICARE dental insurance, whether it's for family members or retirees or retiree family members, because as we start closing, again, that would not be the time to start looking for a dentist that TRICARE would take, but it would be a good idea to start researching that option right now. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Rumling, the school's liaison officer, now presenting everybody's favorite part of the town hall meeting. And while it may seem like pulling teeth to get your kids to do their homework, I don't think the Dentac can help us out with that. So if I could have the next slide, please. Good job. All right, main point today is the combined school registration, which is coming up next Thursday and Friday. Thursday starting at 9 in the morning, ending at 5 o'clock in the evening, and Friday from 8 to 3. Critical that we get those registrations out of the way at this point, because we really need good, hard data to base our staffing for next school year on. With transformation, getting a grasp on good, solid data will help us to make sure that your kids get the best and the most out of the education that Dodge can provide. Another point, if your unit is PCSing to another location here in Europe, please contact my office as soon as you know that. We can do a lot to make sure that that transformation and that transition to your new location is as smooth as possible. And at this point, Katrina Lusk, could you stand up, please? Go ahead, come on, Katrina. Katrina Lusk is the FRG leader for the 214th Aviation Battalion over in Mannheim. And I've been working with Katrina 6 months before her unit was ready to move. She came to me and said, what can we do to make that transition smooth? We've worked together all along from that point towards where we are now, and it looks like this summer we're going to have a very smooth transition, lots of questions, lots of answers, but Katrina is a great example of a proactive FRG leader, so thank you, Katrina, for doing that for your unit. I'd like to see everyone be as proactive as she is with hers. And at that point, I'll turn it over to Stephanie Al-Sayed, the principal of Heidelberg Middle School, and she's going to present her slides.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited to be here. Heidelberg Middle School, home of the Panthers. Our middle school students are so happy for this sunshine, so I want to thank everyone for that and letting them get outside and run around, enjoy the weather. I would first like to look at some dates that we have here. For my 5th graders that are going to be 6th graders next year, we have an orientation set up for our elementary students here at Patrick Henry and our students at Manheim. So please come out on the 29th. The students will come out in 2 groups because they're pretty large. One group at 10 o'clock and one group at 1. And then we'll have an evening orientation for the parents. So please come out. Our 5th graders, they get a little nervous saying, oh, I'm going to go to a middle school. So this is a time that they come out and meet our guidance counselors. We have some of our ambassadors take them around. They do a tour of the school. They get to ask me questions and my assistant principal questions about all the rumors that they've heard about middle schoolers. And we talk about all the great things that happen at middle school and try to get them ready for the fall. Next slide, please. Oh, I don't know where this one is. Go back one. Can we go back? There we go. Can we go back to another one? One more? Now, here we want to celebrate our students. We had a reading exhibition that was sponsored by the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the Germany chapter here, and we want to thank them for their partnership. But I always like to highlight our students. So great job for Jordan Johnson. He was our overall winner. And Erica Pooler and Christopher Blanding. We are very proud of our students. And the thing with the reading exhibition is the students had to get up and do an oral reading presentation. And they did an outstanding job. We had a lot of participants, and we look forward to hosting this one more year. So it's a great opportunity for our students to get up and speak and to read. It was fantastic. And on my next slide, please, here are some upcoming events. We have a lot of things going on. I won't read those, but I would like to add on the 22nd of May, we have our final SAC meeting for the school year, and all are welcome to attend. On the 30th of May, we have our tech fair where we celebrate our young engineers, so that's a great day for our students to highlight the products that they've created. We make cars and they race them. They've made bridges, and it is a fantastic day for our students. So you're welcome to come out and root them on, especially as they race the cars, and just watch your feet. And on the 5th of June, we have a talent show to highlight the wonderful talent of our youth here in the community. And for them to be middle schoolers, we have fabulous singers, we have musicians, we have dancers, so you're welcome to come out and celebrate our talent show. And my final note that I'd like to say is next week is Teacher Appreciation Week, so please, please send a little note to your child's teachers to thank them, and have your children thank the teachers for all of their hard work. We really appreciate your support, and so next week we want to highlight our teachers. Thank you very much.
Next slide, please. There's a lot of ways to be informed in our community between the Herald Post newspaper and various websites, getting information on AFN. But in the last 2 weeks, we have created a special transformation service directory on the Baden-Württemberg homepage. The purpose of this directory is to provide you the same information that this panel has given you in the last few minutes about Mannheim closures, change of hours, consolidation of services. This is the place where you can go 24 hours a day to look at the various services in our community. And if you can go, if you look at the bottom of this slide, the PLCs are Mr. Jason Hoagie and myself, Mr. Matt Wheeler. So if you have questions about the service directory, or you see something, a way we can make it better, please contact us and we will do our best to improve it. As again, it's only 2 weeks old, it's getting better every day, and things are constantly changing. Next slide, please. If you notice in the lower left-hand corner, it says Your Community Service Directory. When you go to the Baden-Württemberg Now page and you click on this spot here on the home page, it will take you to the service directory. You will have everything from Anthony's Pizza all the way down to the outdoor rec and so on. And you click on that particular thing, it will give you the operating hours, the days of service, their phone numbers, if they have their own web page, points of contact by email, and a brief description of that service. Last but not least, we will add in there, as the dates become effective and approved by the garrison commander, this facility will close on the date in the same box as their operating hours. And subject to your questions, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Next slide, please. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. Bruce Brown. I'm the transportation officer for the garrison, and I'm representing the director of logistics for the garrison. This slide here is what we feel is most important for today's town hall, and that is our personal property processing office. This is the office that you go to arrange for your transportation of your household goods and POVs. One thing I would like to emphasize is that as soon as you get your orders to PCS, you come visit our office as soon as possible. Right now, we're looking at a 15-day wait to have your household goods picked up. So if you came in today, you're looking at around 19 May for your household goods to be picked up. And those days will extend as we get further into the peak season. Also, I'd like to have you visit our website for more information on tips and hints to facilitate your move. Our website's up there. And that's all I have. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Colonel DeCoster, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is Chaplain Lyons. I'm the Deputy Garrison Chaplain for Baden-Württemberg, and I would like to highlight our changes of chapel schedule. As you know, our community is in a time of change and transformation, and it affects us as it does other people. This Sunday will be the last Sunday for services in Ben Franklin Village Chapel, and then on the weekend of the 9th and 10th of June, we will close Mark Twain Village Chapel and transition services as follows. The Protestant service and the Lutheran service will move to Knock-Richten Chapel. The Gospel service will move to PHV Chapel with a new time, and the Catholic services will consolidate on Patrick Henry Village Chapel. With the closure of this community, I think we are trying to maintain as many services as we can and keep congregations going as long as we can to serve the people. Subject to your questions, this is all I have.
Okay, next slide. I think this is the portion where we now go to questions, but before we get to those questions, Cheryl, I would love to be in your tank booth, but conveniently I'm going to be in the United States on TDY that day, so I'll have to take a rain check. And when we do that, we should definitely get donations because you will raise a lot of money to put me in that dunk tank. So we have some Facebook questions here, and last time we went first to the audience. But this time we're going to go first to the Facebook crowd and ask and answer those questions. So our first question is from Robin, and she asks, after AFN's move from the Heidelberg-Mannheim area, will the AFN TV radio reception via the AFN decoder be affected? And the answer is no. The reception will remain the same. AFN decoder I believe uses satellite for its AFN TV reception, and so there should be no impact to those off-post who are getting their AFN through the decoder. Okay, any questions from the audience before we go to the next Facebook question? Okay. We have another Facebook question from Jackie Shaver. What will happen to all of the remaining families left in Mannheim as facilities begin to close? As I think was mentioned here in the housing piece, Ben Franklin Village and Grant Circle are closing no later than September of this year, September 2012. So if you are living in those housing facilities over there in Ben Franklin Village and your soldier has a DEROS that extends beyond September of 2013, or September of 2012, correction, then we are either moving you to Patrick Henry Village, or we are moving you to off-post if you prefer to move off-post, or you have the option of getting a curtailment, but your unit has to approve that curtailment in order to curtail your DEROS to where you can leave right in September of 2012. So those really are your options. And as you heard from our panel of subject matter experts, specifically on the personal property piece, we want you to do those movements as soon as possible. We understand some of you may have school-age children that are going to the Mannheim Elementary School and may want to wait until school is over. Completely understand that. But I would encourage those of you who don't have that situation, get the move done now. As you heard, 15-day wait if you go into the transportation office now to get your household goods packed up and moved. I can guarantee you, come this summer, it'll be a much longer timeline for you from the time you go into transportation to availability of a pack-out appointment from household good carriers. We're moving or inactivating 18 different units and agencies just in Mannheim, Schwetzingen, and Heidelberg this summer and fall. So that's a lot of units, a lot of people all trying to move in the summer and the fall. So if you can get the move done now, it's greatly to your advantage. And I think we've already moved nearly 40 families who took us up on that offer to move early. Government-funded move, you're not going to have to fund it out of your own pocket. So get it done now. If you do have to wait until the school year is over, you can still go to the transportation office and work with them at this point. Correct, Bruce? You can go there today while you have planning time and get your appointments scheduled so that you can move as soon as possible after the end of the school year. Okay, so that's probably the long-winded answer to that, but essentially you have to move either to PHV, off-post, or curtail. Second question from Jackie is, what will the police presence be like as the base prepares for closure? We will continue to have patrols on Ben Franklin Village and in all of the Mannheim facilities as long as they are open. We have reduced the number of our patrols in anticipation of the 529th MP Company moving this summer to Wiesbaden. But we still have patrols in all these facilities. We still have community law enforcement coverage of these areas. We still have MP desk operations currently still in Heidelberg and Mannheim, although we will close the MP desk operations there in Mannheim as we close Ben Franklin Village. So that police coverage is still there. It is smaller coverage than in the past, but certainly still adequate for the number of families and people that we have in the community. If you see something that is a community law enforcement issue, cases of vandalism or any other situations, call the emergency numbers, call the MPs, and we will respond to that. Any questions from the audience? Okay, another Facebook question. And this one ties in very well to Chaplain Lyons' discussion. Why are we closing the MTV chapel when the chaplain's offices are still occupied until September? We have to close Mark Twain Village East, the whole portion that's across the street, across Romerstrasse from Campbell Barracks, also by September of 2012. And we can't just turn the lights out on the 30th of September and expect it to be in condition to turn over to our Directorate of Public Works. The chaplains, assistants, and the chaplains need time to get the furniture out of the chapel and to make the preparations for that facility to be turned over. So that's why we have to back up, just as we do with all facilities. Closure has to come before turn-in. So that's why it's in June. We looked at many options with the chaplains. We came to a group decision on when it would be best to change to services at Knock Richten and PHV. We do have sufficient sufficient chapels between those two to host all of the services that we need in the community. It just means some congregations will be combined, and you may go to Knockrickton or Patrick Henry instead of Mark Twain Village. But again, as with any facility here, there is property turn-in and other things that have to happen, and our workforce has to do those things before the physical turn-in of the facility. You can make the same argument about what Mr. Watson talked about with the postal consolidation. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the postal consolidation since we've got no one brave enough to stand up and ask a question here yet. The postal consolidation, again, many people have asked, why are we doing this so quickly? Why are we doing this year? And it really goes towards what Mr. Watson was saying on having the workforce and having the money and being proactive about how we're going to support our community. And what I want to make sure we do with every service that we provide is that we balance good stewardship with quality service. So if we don't plan ahead, what we will find ourselves with is about 7 or 8 postal facilities like we have today, but with the reduction in people we have, just with family members, employees who leave, we basically would have 7 or 8 poorly run postal facilities, or 7 to 8 postal facilities that would be run maybe less than 3 days a week, less than the standard for postal services. We have the money now to do the work. We don't know if we would have it next year. We have the employees now, but we know we won't have the employees come next year. It just makes sense to do it now and do it in a location that's going to last the longest, which is Patrick Henry Village. And although we do look at it as a win-win and there will be quality service to everybody at this facility, I do understand that it is an inconvenience for people. Your mailing address won't change, but you will get a new box and you will get a new combination. And for those of you who don't live in PHV, you will have to travel to PHV. But our commitment to you is that it will be a quality service and that we will provide you that quality service right up to the end. And so that's why we're being proactive with these types of things rather than waiting to a point where we can't run services properly anymore. We want this to continue to be a quality service providing organization. So, anyone brave enough to get up to the mic here in the audience? Okay, we must have a lot of satisfied customers. They'll be more satisfied